The bar went silent the moment they heard the boots. Heavy, coordinated, deadly. The bikers who had been laughing, who had been shoving the old disabled man just minutes before, suddenly froze. Because these weren't just any men walking in. These were Navy SEALs, and not just any SEALs. They were his men. No one understood what was about to happen. Not the bartender, not the bikers, not even the old veteran himself. But 20 minutes earlier, everything had been very, very different. The bar wasn't loud tonight. Just the usual mix of clinking glasses, old rock music, and small, town loneliness. In a dimly lit corner sat Walter Briggs, a 72-year-old disabled veteran with a cane leaning against his chair. His leg, stiff from an IED blast in Afghanistan, barely moved anymore. But his hands, steady as steel, held a small photo he carried everywhere, a group of young Navy SEALs smiling, their uniforms dusty, their faces proud. They were the only family he had left. Walter didn't come here to drink. He came here because loneliness can suffocate a man faster than any bullet. But tonight fate had other plans. A group of 4 bikers walked in, loud, tattooed, and ready to cause trouble. Their leader, a bald giant with a leather vest, noticed Walter sitting alone. "Hey, old man," he sneered, walking toward him. "This ain't a retirement home. Move." Walter simply looked up, calm, almost bored. He'd seen worse monsters than him in the desert. "I'm fine right here, son," he said quietly. The bikers didn't like that. One of them kicked Walter's cane to the ground. Another snatched the photo from his hands and laughed. "What's this?" "Your bingo buddies." Walter reached for the picture, his voice steady but trembling from emotion. "Give that back. Those boys saved my life, all of them." The bikers didn't care. They pushed him back into his chair. Walter winced as pain shot up his bad leg, but he still didn't raise his voice. He didn't fight back. He didn't curse. He had learned long ago. Sometimes the most dangerous man in the room is the one who refuses to be provoked. One biker pulled out a phone and said, "Smile for the camera, Grandpa. Let's make you famous." He didn't realize he had just recorded something that would change everything. Because the moment Walter hit the floor, his phone, connected to Walter's emergency tracking device, sent a silent alert. A device programmed long ago by a group of men who made a promise. "If the old man ever needs us, we come running." 20 minutes later, the bar door swung open with a bang. Boots, dark uniforms, eyes that had seen war. The bikers' laughter died instantly. 5 Navy SEALs walked in, older now, but still built like iron. Their eyes swept the room with predator calm. These were Walter's old team, men who had fought beside him in the worst valleys of Afghanistan. Their leader, Commander Ryan Keller, stepped forward. His voice was soft, but carried more weight than a thunderclap. "Where is he?" The bartender pointed shakily toward the back. The bikers instinctively took a step back, but it was already too late. The SEALs moved like a storm, silent, controlled, unstoppable. Ryan knelt beside Walter, lifting him gently from the floor. "You called us, Walt." "I didn't mean to," Walter whispered. "Just dropped my phone." Ryan smiled. "You know the rule. You drop it. We drop everything." The biggest biker tried to speak. "We didn't know he was a veteran." Ryan stood up slowly. "No, you didn't know he was ours." The room felt like it was shrinking. The bikers weren't facing one old man anymore. They were facing a brotherhood. But the SEALs didn't attack. They didn't shout. They didn't even touch the bikers. They did something far more terrifying. Ryan stepped close enough that the biker leader could feel his breath. "You picked on a man who survived more than you ever will. And I'm going to let you walk out of here. Not because you deserve it, but because he asked us to." Walter nodded from behind him. "Let them go, Ryan. They're kids. They don't know better." The SEAL leader turned back to the bikers. "You heard him. That's the only mercy you're getting tonight." The bikers left, faces pale, hands trembling, the weight of their mistake pressing down on them harder than any punch could. As the door shut behind them, Walter sighed. "I'm getting too old for this." Ryan laughed and helped him sit. "You saved our lives a dozen times. The least we can do is show up when you drop your phone." The men stayed with Walter late into the night, laughing, talking, reminding him that brotherhood doesn't end when the war does. And as they escorted him safely home, Walter realized something: he wasn't alone. Not then. Not ever.